they offer me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay,
If I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
That
Yeah,
may that in fact.
it says automobile, horse, drawn wagon, or carriage. So
okay, so
an
Mr.
automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good.
But
I
all
mean,
of those things are not
an
true.
automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever created.
All right, everyone. Today's court session is one for the booksa. Truly chaotic encounter with a self-declared sovereign citizen who brought all the usual nonsense into the courtroom. Right off the bat, he tries the classic line, claiming he wasn't driving, he was traveling. If you've followed these types of cases before, you already know this argument never holds up in court. What makes it even more exhausting is how this guy just keeps going, talks in circles, flooding the courtroom with random legal jargon that sounds impressive until you realize none of it actually means anything. It's like watching someone toss out phrases from internet, conspiracy threads, and hoping it'll confuse the judge into letting him walk free. Now, about the judge, she handled things calmly, maybe even too calmly. Some viewers might think she should have been firmer from the jump. It's clear she was trying to give him a fair shot to speak. But with someone this disruptive, you start wondering if being patient only encourages more courtroom chaos. So here's your question of the day. Did the judge play it right? Or should she have cracked down sooner? Let us know in the comments. For now, let's get into it and watch this courtroom spectacle unfold, because this sovereign citizen is about to put on a performance like no other.
You hear me?
Yes, I
Okay.
hear you.
So you're before the court on 2019 CR 04954 for driving on a suspended or revoked license, no license, failure to display license, or failure to have license on person. I'm not sure, it cuts off, and no tag or expired or invalid tag. So that's on the first case. On the case from 2020 03114, you have a suspended or revoked license. You're represented by Lister and Holt on one of the cases, but not on the other. Did you want Lister and Holt to represent you, or did you want to represent yourself
I represent myself.
on both cases?
Yes, ma'am. I have a quick question as far as law concern when it comes to driver's license.
Okay.
Okay, you're only allowed to have one driver's license, and I have an Alabama driver's license. So when I get pulled over, I actually showed them my Alabama driver's license, and it's current. It's the most current, and so they make a determination if they should go off the Georgia driver's license or the Alabama driver's license. And when I present the Alabama driver's license, they let me go because my Alabama license is valid. And you're only allowed to have one. And I had Alabama license first. So
I
my
believe
Georgia
this sounds
driver's
like a not
license.
guilty.
Excuse
Okay.
me?
So, Mr. Resto, what Mr. Taylor is saying is this is something that you could prove at trial. If you present that information at trial, then that means you want to go to trial instead of taking a plea. I don't know what the recommendation is, and I don't
Well,
know.
the recommendation was, I think I've been dealing with this case for an awful long time now, so
Yeah.
I don't really want to go to trial. I just want to get it behind me. But I think that the recommendation, I remember the recommendation quite clear. They offered me 40 hours of community service. Is that still on the table?
Okay, no, Mr. Resto, it's more than that. So let me explain.
You won't believe this during the pre-hearing. This guy actually tries to negotiate his case like he's bargaining at a street market. No legal footing, no real plan, just tossing out offers like he's haggling over the price of fruit. And honestly, you can't even blame the judge or the prosecutor for laughing at this point. The whole thing is so out there, it almost feels like a sketch comedy routine. What's wild is how seriously he takes himself while saying all this, keeping a straight face like it's a perfectly normal legal strategy. Watching this unfold, you've got to wonder how judges keep their composure when they deal with people like this on a regular basis. Personally, I'd be reaching for that contempt charge button way more often than I probably should. And speaking of reactions, the prosecutor in this case, honestly, he's been a low-key highlight. His quick wit and subtle jabs make this courtroom moment even more entertaining. What do you all think, Carr? His remarks spottin' or a bit too relaxed for the setting? Let me know in the comments as we head right back into this legal circus.
No, it's more than that. So the basic fines and fees for driving on a suspended license is the first time in 5 years. If you get one, then you can enter a NOLO plea if you have a NOLO plea eligible to you, and then the fine is $500. But if you get a second one, the fine goes to $1,000. A third one, the fine goes to $1,500 and 10 days mandatory jail time. You have a second one, which means that you might be able to enter a NOLO to the first one, but then the second one is outstanding. So when you took a plea to the second one, that would definitely suspend your license. So that's what's on the table.
Okay, now if I enter like an oral motion of dismissal based on constitutional grounds, are you standing on your constitutional oath?
Okay, I'm not sure what that is. So I have taken an oath to uphold the Constitution and to make sure that I treat people as the law would direct me to do so. So,
okay. Well, I asked this question previously when I was in your courtroom one day in regards to the right to travel under the 14th Amendment, stating that citizens do not need a permit to travel with a horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile without interference by police. And I was on a public highway actually when I got pulled over.
Okay, so that's not actually in the Constitution.
And
So
I don't
right
believe
to travel,
automobiles
right to
were
travel?
around when the 14th Amendment was ratified.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mr. Taylor.
I just wanted to point out to the court that automobiles hadn't been invented when the 14th Amendment was ratified. That
Yeah,
may
it says automobile, horse-drawn wagon, or carriage.
Okay,
So an automobile is not necessarily a car if it's a household good. It's just a form of transportation. It doesn't matter if it's an automobile, horse-drawn wagon, or carriage, because it's still a form of transportation, and citizens have the right to travel without interference by police. So I don't even know how the police are even allowed to interfere with travel when I'm not using my vehicle for commerce.
Your Honor,
And it's
Hold on,
a
Mr.
totally
Taylor.
private household good.
This point, you've really got to wonder why hasn't the judge stepped in more forcefully to shut this down? Judges have full authority to maintain order in their courtroom, and part of that responsibility is making sure hearings stay focused and productive. But here, we've got a sovereign citizen rambling on with the usual off-the-wall arguments. And the judge seems almost hesitant to intervene. It's frustrating to watch, especially when the prosecutor is clearly signaling that enough is enough. You can practically feel the tension rising as everyone waits for the judge to take control. She absolutely has the power to rein things in, but for some reason, she's choosing a more patient approach, even as valuable court time slips away. And honestly, this is a big reason why the court system gets so backed up. People like this should be in and out in under a minute. Make your point, get your ruling, move on. But instead, we're watching a 20-minute circus over nonsense that never had legal weight to begin with. Is that a hot take? Maybe. But it's a real question worth asking. Should judges crack down harder on this kind of behavior? Or is patience the smarter long game here? Drop your thoughts below as we jump back into the chaos and see how it all unfolds.
Okay, so Mr. Resto, if somebody drove 100 miles an hour into the back of your vehicle and killed your a family member, would you want the police to interfere?
That's a murder. I mean, that's if someone got killed.
But they're traveling. You can't interfere with somebody traveling.
No, I mean you can't. It's stating that a police just can't interfere with your traveling, like pulling you over for a traffic violation or a tag.
But you want them to interfere if somebody.
Now, if you murder somebody because of
say you don't murder them. Say you just hurt them. Say you just damaged the vehicle. You don't want the police to interfere.
No, that's when it almost becomes like an accident or a crime or whatnot. So the police can. That's not really an interference. An interference with your traveling, not an interference when two citizens engage in an accident, it's interfering with you just traveling. Now, police officers, as far as public servants, they have a duty to serve to the people. So if a car accident occurs, then of course public servants, as far as ambulance, as far as firemen, they will come to the scene just as a service. But for you to just interfere in my traveling is actually a violation of the Constitution.
Well, sir, the Constitution and the cases that have come out of the constitutional jurisprudence allow cities and states and municipal organizations to regulate travel for the benefit of the citizens. So they can put reasonable regulations on travel, meaning they can you can have a license. They can grant you the privilege of having a license to drive. They can regulate how your license is seen. If you don't have a license, or if your license is suspended, they can intervene to take your license away or your privilege to drive away. It is a crime. You can be convicted of not driving under a proper license. So the government is allowed to intervene in a lot of ways with people traveling. So I'm not sure where this information comes from, but there's a lot of stuff on the internet about traveling and the 14th Amendment and horse and buggies and even maritime law. But
I mean,
an
automobile was actually created before a driver's license was ever created.
Not going to believe what just came out of this sovereign citizen's mouth. He actually argued that since automobiles were invented before driver's licenses existed, that somehow makes driver's licenses unconstitutional. Yes, really? That's the logic he's trying to use in a courtroom. But here's the thing. Just because something existed before regulations were created doesn't mean those regulations are invalid. That's like saying you shouldn't have to pay taxes because income tax didn't exist when money was first used. It completely ignores how society, safety, and law evolve over time. Driver's licenses are absolutely constitutional. They're designed to make sure people understand traffic laws and know how to safely operate a vehicle before getting behind the wheel. It's not some conspiracide's basic public safety. And honestly, getting a license isn't even that hard or expensive. It's a small price to pay to protect lives on the road. The idea that you can reject laws simply because they came after an invention is just wild. It shows a complete misunderstanding of how legal systems work. Whether this guy actually believes it or is just saying it to stir the pot is anyone's guess, but either way. It's yet another example of logic flying out the window.
That's actually, you guys are actually a conflict of interest, actually, as far as you being in cahoots with the DMV. That's a totally separate entity.
Okay,
and for
so
some reason,
Mr. Resto, do you want to resolve the case? Because it's not
I want to resolve the
40
case.
hours
I disagree with the fine amount because it changed. I would I would make an offer like I can do $1,000, maybe 12-month probation.
Mr.
But $2,000, that's excessive.
Mr. Resto, we're not negotiating. Those are statutory fines, meaning they're written into the law. I can't even change them.
Can I make a counter offer to the state and say it's $1,000? Can I be?
No,
because I did do
sir.
time in jail. If the state would see that and count.
That's why I'm saying that you may want to speak with an attorney, because certain things that they can negotiate, I can't change the statute. I can't change what's written in it, but they can negotiate. And if the solicitor wants to give you credit for time in jail in lieu of the fine, those are things that they can do that I can't do.
Yeah. So I would ask to the district attorney, knowing that I did serve some days in jail, can you guys lower the fine and I just go ahead and end this case right now? I can do 1,000. I got $1,000 right now.
Mr. Resto, so that's a conversation that you need to have with them directly without me being present, number one. Number two, the reason I keep saying you might want to go through your attorney is because they can explain to you what is already on the table and how that may or may not change, okay?
What's on the table now, man?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I would rather you have that conversation in a breakout room with the attorney who's assigned to your case and with the state, as opposed to here in the main room. One, because I have other cases that need to be addressed, and two, because That's not information I need to hear.
Okay, is it anything I can do to get this case resolved now? Because it's been lingering on
I'm
my
telling
head
you what to
for
do, but you're
years.
not listening, Mr. Reston. Mr.
I mean,
Resto,
today, like I want to resolve this today.
I get that you want to resolve it today, and I'm telling you what to do, but you're not listening to me. I said you can go into a breakout room with your attorney, and the attorney and you can discuss what's already on the table. And then if your attorney wishes to speak with the state to clarify anything, they can do that too. But you're not going to get it resolved by going back and forth with me, because there's
Okay.
stuff I cannot do.
Okay. Just tell the state that I'll take their recommendation. I'll just pay the $2,000 if they can give me 12 months to pay it off. And
Okay,
if I
but
can, and if I pay it
sir,
off early, if my probation can be terminated, that would be great.
And just like that, he vanished. Yep, that was the last we saw of him for the day, at least. After all that ranting and rambling, this self-declared sovereign citizen simply walked out of the hearing like it was no big deal. From what I gathered, the judge didn't take that move lightly and likely issued a bench warrant right then and there. You can't just walk out of court and expect no consequences. But don't worry, this story isn't over yet. I've got footage from his second court appearance coming your way tomorrow. And trust me, you'll want to see what happens next. This whole thing started because he was trying to dodge a $2,000 fine. Seriously, just $2,000. Instead of owning up, he tried to twist reality, insisting he was traveling and not driving like that somehow makes the law disappear. Spoiler, it doesn't. Honestly, I could go on a full rant, but this guy drained my brain so hard, I think I need a nap. So I'll turn it over to you. What did you think of this hearing? Was the judge too lenient, or do you think she handled it the right way? I've got my own thoughts. But I'm curious if I'm in the minority here. And if you enjoy courtroom chaos like this and want to see more wild legal moments, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support really means a lot. Drop your recommendations in the comments if there's another hearing you want me to cover next. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Stay safe out there.